Alright guys, today is the final episode of Club Review for the entire year because Southampton are the 20th episode and this is, yeah, well, there's 20 teams in the Premier League, so that'll be everyone. So yeah, enjoy. Okay, so Southampton's form this year has been very up and down. They've had good runs and they've had bad runs. Like they're one of them teams that are very much a momentum side. Like this season, they started off the season by picking up only about 4 points from the first possible 28. Um, and then they went on a good run. They got some good results. Then a bad run sort of over Christmas, and in January and February they went on a good run again, picking up wins against Tottenham, and a few other good results as well. They also beat West Ham at one point too, and again more recently it's been a bit of a bad run. Although they did beat Arsenal the other week, which is a good result. And in the cups they managed to reach the FA Cup quarter final, but they lost to City, unfortunately. However, against Man City, they stayed unbeaten in both games. They drew the first one 0-0 at the Etihad and got a 1-1 draw at St Mary's, which, two very good results against an outstanding team. Yeah, and in the League Cup, they narrowed. I think they lost to Chelsea on penalties, so again, quite unfortunate. But yeah, it's been another decent, all right season for Southampton. They've managed to avoid relegation fairly comfortably whilst playing some exciting football. Okay, so Southampton's best starting 11, in my opinion, I've gone with Fraser Forster in goal because it seems like every season he finds himself as like the backup keeper, but somehow forces his way into the side. And some of his recent performances have been quite good. And yeah, I still think he's probably just got the edge on Alex McCarthy. Um, in defence, I've gone with Tino Livramento at right back. He's been one of the like breakthrough stars of this season, I would say. Certainly in terms of young players, a really good signing from Chelsea in the summer. And then alongside him at the back, I've also gone with Jan Bednarek and Mohamed Salisu, who have been good for the majority of the season. Occasionally, both of them have the odd game where they don't perform. But Salisu in particular has had some great performances this year. The one that stands out to me was the 1-1 draw at St Mary's. He was like unpassable that day. Had a great game. And then at left back, even though he's not really a left back, he's a right back. I've gone with Kyle Walker-Peters again, another brilliant performer for Southampton this season. Midfield four, I've gone with Stuart Armstrong on the right. He's a good player, chips in with a few goals. James Ward-Prowse, nothing needs to be said. Oriol Romeo, same again. He's been brilliant over the past few years for Southampton. And then on the left, I've gone with El Yunusi, who can be a bit inconsistent, but he's a good enough player to be starting for Southampton. And up front, Armando Broja and also Che Adams, who again is a consistent performer. They do need to work out what they're going to do to replace Broja next season when he goes back to Chelsea. Okay, so Ralph Hasenhüttl is, I think over the past, 3.5, 4 years now, at Southampton, I think overall he's done a good job. He's brought some an exciting style of football to St Mary's. The fans have enjoyed it, and he never really had them in a position where they look like they're going to get relegated. And I think this season was going to be a real test for them because they had lost the goals of Danny Ings in the summer to Aston Villa, and even without their main summer signing, Adam Armstrong, he hasn't really impressed this season. Even without him, they've managed to comfortably stay up and also perform well on quite a few occasions. James Ward-Prowse, obviously the standout player, but obviously with also good performances from Che Adams, Broja, Romeo, Walker-Peters, Livramento, like that they have got a good solid side that, and a lot of them are young with their best years ahead of them, like Walker Peters, Che Adams, Salisu, Livramento. Ward-Prowse is okay, he's probably at his peak now, but he's still like a few years off 30 yet. So they have got a good side going forward, and that is massively down to Hasenhüttl. And I think they shouldn't really think about sacking him, because I don't think there's anyone better to bring in. They do have periods where they go a few games without a win, or they get some really bad results, like a 6-0 loss to Chelsea recently, or Southampton fans will hate me referencing this because it's all they get. But they do occasionally get a thumping like the 2-9-0s over the past 2 or 3 years. But yeah, he's certainly a good manager. Okay, so for potential incomings for Southampton, I've picked a few positions. I've gone with a right back of Calvin Ramsey, because I think Walker Peters has sort of settled in that left back position for now. And Livramento's, he's still very young and he's going to need someone to fill in for him, I think. So I've gone with Calvin Ramsey from Aberdeen, who, again, really young player, sort of suits what age sort of position in their career that Southampton are going for. So I've made some notes on him. He's brilliant crosser, brilliant at set pieces as well, and has an eye for a killer pass. So very sort of similar to a Trent Alexander-Arnold type of player. And then I've gone with a central midfielder, because although Southampton have two very good central midfielders in Oriol Romeo and James Ward-Prowse, the depth behind them, they've got Ibrahima Diallo and Will Smallbone, but behind that there isn't a great deal, and I think Smallbone and Diallo could be improved upon. So I haven't actually got a name down that I think they could go for, but I've got like a style of player. I think I've gone with like a Frankie de Jong type of player, so someone who's a good dribbler, bringing the ball forward, a good passer of the ball, and can also play like a killer pass as well. So I think someone like him, obviously they're not going to get him because he's way out of their range, Southampton, but someone like him. And then I've also gone with another forward because obviously Armando Broja's leaving at the end of the season, so they need to replace him. And also I just think that leaves Che Adams, who is definitely good enough to be playing week in, week out for Southampton, although he isn't the greatest goal scorer, which could be a bit of a problem. So Shane Long, I think, needs to be moved on. He's coming to the end now, and Adam Armstrong hasn't set the world alight yet, so it's going to be tough to rely upon him. So I've gone with a young player currently on loan at Preston from Aston Villa in Cameron Archer, who is a very good finisher, good at passing, good at dribbling, bog standard striker. I think he would be a good signing for them to try and give some experience to and evolve effectively, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would go for him as well. Okay, so in summary, Southampton are in a steady position. I think that's a good word to use, steady. Although their form can be up here and then down here, it evens out across the season usually. So yeah, I think they're doing well under Hasenhüttl. They've got a good squad. I think they need to sign a couple of players in the summer just to freshen things up a bit again, and maybe improve some of the squad players, because I think their starting 11 generally is quite good. It's definitely mid-table level, nowhere near the very bottom of the table. That's for sure. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. That's the end of this series for this year. I hope you've enjoyed all the videos, and yeah, I'll see you soon.